Hey guys, today we are diving into one of the most feared techniques in all of chess. The king, bishop, and knight checkmate against a lone king. If you have ever wanted to learn the famous bishop and knight mate, this is the perfect model line. And one quick honest note, this is not a real tournament game. This is a theoretical study, a clean teaching line. That is exactly what makes it so valuable. Every move here has a purpose. We begin directly in the end game. White has a king on c3, a bishop on d3, and a knight on e3. Black has only a king on e5, and right now the black king is in the center. That is where the defender wants to be. Flexible, safe, hard to trap. White begins with bishop to b1. It looks like a retreat, but it is a very important move. White has a light-squared bishop, so the final mate must happen in a light corner. That means h1 or a8. Black replies with king to d6. White plays king to d4. White is already starting the king drive. Black goes king to e7. White continues with king to d5. Black answers king to f6. White keeps marching with king to d6. Black goes to f7. White plays king to e5. Black slides to g7. White continues with king to e6. Black retreats to f8. And now you can already feel the squeeze. White is not hunting with random checks. White is taking space, cutting squares, shrinking the board. Now white plays bishop to c2, a quiet move, but the cage stays intact. Black goes king to g7. White plays knight to g2. The knight begins an important reroute. Black goes back to f8. White brings the king closer with king to f6. Black goes to g8. White continues with knight to f4. Black reaches h8. This is a key moment. Black has reached the wrong corner. For a light-squared bishop, h8 is not the mating corner, and this is exactly what the defender wants, to hide in the wrong corner, to make the win difficult, but white knows the technique. White plays bishop to b3. Black has only king to h7. Then white jumps with knight to g6. That is a big move. The knight takes away vital escape squares. The net starts to tighten. Black goes king to h6. Now white plays bishop to g8, a beautiful bishop sweep. Suddenly more squares disappear. Black is forced to king to h5. White continues with knight to e5. The knight repositions with purpose. Black goes king to h4. White plays bishop to d5. And now black tries the practical defense. King to g3. This is a dangerous moment. The black king is trying to escape the edge, trying to break out into open space. This is where many players lose control in the bishop and knight mate, but white stays calm. White plays knight to d3, a precise move. The escape squares are covered again. Black goes king to g4. White brings the king forward with king to g6. That is a huge improvement. The white king blocks the road back. Black returns to h4. White now plays bishop to b3. A quiet move, but the cage is still there. Black goes king to g3. White plays bishop to d1. Another calm move, no rush, no panic. Black goes king to h4. White plays bishop to e2. The bishop keeps adjusting. The net keeps tightening. Black goes back to g3. Now white improves the king with king to f5. The white king is getting closer and closer to the final zone. Black goes king to h3. White continues with king to f4. Black answers king to h4. And now we reach one of the most instructive moves in the whole ending. White plays knight to e1. This move looks strange at first. It looks like a retreat. But it is one of the key ideas in the entire king, bishop, and knight checkmate. The knight is heading to f3. That is the finishing square. Black tries to hold on with king to h3. White strikes with bishop to g4 check, a strong and accurate check. Black is forced to h2. White now improves the king with king to f3. Everything is coming together. Black tries to escape with king to g1. White stays completely composed. Bishop to h3. A quiet, deadly move. Black goes back to h2. White steps closer with king to g4. The white king now joins the mating net directly. Black tries king to g1 again, still looking for any path to freedom. White answers with king to g3, and now the black king is almost finished. Black goes to h1. The correct corner has finally been reached. Everything white has done has been building toward this moment. Now comes the final touch. White plays bishop to g2 check, a precise bishop check, a beautiful bishop check, and a decisive one. Black has only one move. King to g1, and now the knight arrives. Knight to f3. Checkmate. That is the famous bishop and knight mate. The bishop controls the key diagonal. The white king seals the nearby escape squares. And the knight, after that quiet retreat to E1, lands on F3 to deliver the final blow. Every square is covered, every piece does its job, and the black king has nowhere left to go. This is why the king, bishop, and knight checkmate is so respected. It is not just about mating the king, it is about method, coordination, patience, and precision. The biggest mistake players make in this endgame is simple. They drive the defending king toward the nearest corner, but not every corner is equal. With a light-squared bishop, the target corners are H1 and A8. Push the king toward H8 or A1, and you are helping the defender. So if you want to master the bishop and knight mate, study the phases of this line. First, drive the king away from the center. Then restrict it near the edge. Then turn it away from the wrong corner. Then build the mating net. And finally, bring the knight to the perfect finishing square. This is one of the rarest checkmates in practical chess. But once you understand it, it becomes one of the most satisfying techniques in the entire game. If this video helped you learn the king, bishop, and knight checkmate, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more chess endgame lessons. And let me know in the comments. Have you ever had to mate with bishop and knight in a real game? I will see you in the next one.